Dale and Zartman here with Rescue Methods. We're really excited about the opportunity to share with you our review and analysis of Hex Armor gloves. For the last year, we've been running the EXT Rescue gloves through the paces. I have worn one pair of gloves for the entire year, working on all 6 rescue disciplines. We train about 500 students annually with a lot of classes, probably 3 to 4 classes a month at a minimum. Those classes are 4 to 5 days. We're in the dirt, we're in the mud, we're in tunnels, we're in tubes, we're handling ropes, broken glass, sharp edges, everything that we could throw at these gloves, we have very intentionally exposed them to. We've even utilized them in some water applications, saturating them, soaking them, utilizing the liner systems on the pathogen gloves, making sure that these will hold up under all of the duress that we can put them under. And we can say that without a shadow of a doubt, we have a firm stamp of approval on these gloves. They are the specific gloves for the Rescue Methods group. There is no other glove that I would put on any of my instructors. They are the safest glove, the most dexterous glove, and the most durable glove that I've ever utilized. Fit, functional protection, and durability are the 3 primary criteria for me when I'm selecting one of my most important pieces of PPE, and that's my rescue gloves. We're going to look at all 3 of those aspects in regards specifically to the EXT gloves. Not a sales pitch, not a lot of technical info, just what you can expect from these remarkable gloves. So we're going to start with fit. These gloves come in a pretty broad sizing range. You've got small, mediums, larges, and extra larges. Make sure that you use the sizing chart when you're looking at them to select the right size that's going to fit your hand. We did notice that the fingertips run a little bit longer than what your standard gloves are. The nice thing about the glove is the entire glove is very snug and form-fitting, but very relaxed and comfortable. So you get full dexterity, but it's going to fit very snug. If you buy these or size these out to where the palm gives you some room, your fingertips are probably going to be real long. So when you first get them on, expect the hand portion or the palm portion to be a little bit tight and let it stretch out. That way you keep your fingertip sizing at the length you want to maintain your dexterity. When you put these on and you wear your gloves, a lot of guys have preferences about gauntlets, cuffs, Velcro. There are options on these, but they all have basically a moderate length cuff. So you don't have the big giant gauntlet that gets all bottled up in your coat sleeve or anything that you're trying to stuff in there. They're a nice range. Conversely, they're not so short that you've got exposed wrists if you're pulling back your wristlets. I know a lot of guys like to pull their thumb out when they're doing extrication work and then just slip their hand into a glove. That's great until you're wearing a short wrist style glove, and then you got a lot of exposure around your wrist where you can get cuts, abrasions, and incur some injuries. So know that you have a right sized cuff that's going to give you all of the different variables that you want. I am an advocate of Velcro. I like cinching down Velcro just so that I don't have any propensity for the glove to come off of my hand when I'm working. I like the fit. I like keeping my fingertips snug. So these gloves give you all 3 of those options, let you pick what's going to work best for you. As we talked about whether you're keeping your gauntlets on or off, the other nice thing is the wrist area does expand enough that keeping your gauntlet on still enables you with a nice tight form-fitting glove to still be able to get into it quickly. My gauntlets are still in there, and cinch down your Velcro strap. If you like to pull your hands out of your gauntlets, still gives you the ability to push that up to where you need it to be because the cuff's not too long. So even pushing that back, I can still get this seated well, get my fingertips right where I want them to be, and cinch it down. I really like these little pull straps up here as well. If I do want to do anything pulling them up or pulling them down, it's very well stitched. It's real durable. On all of the gloves that we've sampled and analyzed, I haven't seen anything pull out of these gloves stitching wise. We haven't lost any finger seams, any of the cuff elements, any of the attachments. Nothing has come off on these gloves, which is really rare for me for a glove. Typically I can make it about 2 months with a pair of rescue gloves before I've blown out a stitching seam somewhere. So that's it on the primary fit elements of the cuff itself. The other part that you really want to be aware of with fit is how it translates to your dexterity. So your fingertips have to give you enough sensation that you can feel what you're trying to do if you want to do some fine-tuned work and still afford you the protection that you're looking for, which is what we're going to get into next. From that dexterity and fit perspective, I've got a lot of trinkets that I keep in my extrication pocket on my coat. Small window punches, golf balls, small fine tools to do different things. So I easily identify all those elements with this glove. I've got good sensation and I've got enough dexterity, feel, and grip that I can handle this, operate it, do whatever I need to do with all these little elements. So that kind of sums up fit. Those are all the key things that I'm always looking for. Can I functionally make it do what I want to do? Is it sized right? Is it comfortable? Is it flexible? Can I make full fists? Do I have full range of motion in the glove? It gives me all of those elements. With that functional fit, form, and dexterity, you also got to have good grip. That makes it functional. So you want to make sure that things aren't going to slip out. It is a significantly cold day today. These tools have been out all morning. They get cold enough to the touch that they hurt to hold on to, okay? Not only am I getting some insulative properties with these gloves, which is somewhat unique to a lot of the really dexterous rescue gloves, I can hold on to this. I don't feel any temperature transfer through the tool. So I got a nice level of thermal protection. I still have all my dexterous elements to do whatever I want to do with the tool. Can functionally operate everything I want to operate, to do one finger operations, pinky operations, fourth finger operations. Gives me full application. This is kind of a challenging dexterous drill, which is removing the battery. I've got to depress 2 red buttons on the back, push down on the battery, and still try and disengage it. That's great. A glove that gives me that kind of insulation, that kind of protection, that kind of mobility and dexterity, and that kind of sensation is an unbelievably unique application for that fit, form, and dexterity component of these gloves. This skeletal element is called IRX. So it's an impact resistance component that's proprietary for Hex Armor. I have smashed my palms or my knuckles and my fingers into all kinds of things, and these will accept some cuts, but none of the segments have gotten displaced. On a lot of the other gloves that have this type of impact molding on them, you'll see that some of these will kind of get bumped off with a lot of wear, tear, exposure, different actions that you apply to them. The gloves that I've worn for a year still have every single segment intact. So it gives you a lot of comfortable protection on the outside of your hands. You also have this huge zone on the top of your hand. So you've got full protection all the way around the outside of your hand. Functional protection. In order for it to be functional, it's got to be completely mobile. The unique element of how this stuff is designed is it's completely uninhibiting as far as what you want to do with your hand and your movement. So great functional protection on the outside of the glove. On the palm, we have a coating here. They've got different glove styles that'll give you different levels of coating in different places of the palm, but this is the glove that we have found is the most effective, priced right for all the applications that we're doing with extrication. This coating element here is called TPX. It is a great blend of abrasion resistance as well as gripability. They've also put some nice little coating or some applications here on the fingertips that additionally facilitate anything you want to grip or hold on to. So we've got all the right protections in all the right key zones where we expose our hands to things when we're doing technical rescue work. Very, very functional protection. The real protective level of these gloves is the material that's beyond or behind the scenes. So if we were to peel back the layers of this glove, there's a specialized material inside of the glove. That material is called super fabric, and I'm going to show it to you on my other glove because it's exposed. The radical thing about these gloves is even if I do abrade through an exterior portion of the glove or cut through an exterior portion of the glove, The super fabric has remarkable cut resistance. So it's got level 5 protection, which is the highest level that you can get in a glove, against that cutting force. There's a lot of scientific numbers, standards, and data that go with that, but what you can loosely correlate that to is understanding that you can have about 11 pounds of cut force on these gloves before any part of that fabric is going to break down and expose you to a possible injury. When I know that I have that kind of protection beneath the layers of this glove, I can tackle problems with a lot more confidence when I have to. We still want to be diligent, conscientious about being safe and applying the right techniques and applications, not intentionally exposing ourselves to any hazards. But when my hands are that well taken care of, it gives me kind of another level of confidence about tackling whatever equation I need to tackle and performing that rescue sequence. The last piece we're going to talk about is durability. Durability is one of the key criteria to me, because I can buy the greatest glove on the planet and spend my $50 to $80 on it, but if I've got to replace it every month to 2 months, which is what I've always had to do, I'm shelling out a lot of cash on a very high-end glove. So a lot of times what we end up doing is we compromise that level of performance from the glove to get something a little more affordable. Not only are these priced right, but in the course of a year, I have exposed these gloves to everything that I can expose them to. I can't express to you enough how much activity, stress, and strain these gloves have been put under the course of this year, and they're still intact. I can still functionally wear these gloves. We're going to zoom in here. We're going to show you some features of the gloves that I've worn for the year, but you can see that all of the impact components on the outside of the glove are completely intact. I haven't lost any of those segments on the top of the hand, on the knuckles, the fingers, any of those components. Everything's still there. There's no stitching element on the glove that's been blown out. Not even the parts that you intentionally pull on. All of that is intact. The cuff is intact. The Velcro's intact. Everything's there. When you flip over to the high use area on the palm, the TPX is still all there. None of it's been ripped off. None of it's been worn through. Completely resilient. It looks worn, but it's all still in the same capacity it was when I got it new. The other great feature about the TPX is it hasn't lost any of its gripability. So there's a little bit of texture to it. And on this glove that I've worn for a year, the texture feels the exact same as it does on the new glove. I don't know what the proprietary secret recipe is for the TPX, but whatever it is, the durability of it is remarkable. You can see where I've worn through the outer layer of the glove. There's some abrasion here on the fingertips. You're going to wear through the fingertips on your gloves. The radical difference with this glove is every glove in the past, within about 2 months, I've blown through the stitching on the fingers, I've worn through the exterior protection, and once you're through, you're either into a liner or you're into your skin. One of the two. The gloves just became unserviceable. With the Hex Armor EXT gloves, once you wear through or abrade or cut through this outer layer of protection, you get into the super fabric. And the super fabric you can actually see exposed right here. It's got all those odd looking little gray triangles of protection on it. That fabric system that runs through the glove is where my cut resistance is. So even with the outer layer of this glove gone, I still have level 5 cut resistance within this glove. This glove would not be unserviceable for me if I chose for it until that fabric becomes displaced or starts poking out of holes or something along those lines. So unbelievable durability on these gloves. So that wraps up our assessment of Hex Armor gloves. We can't encourage you enough to check them out. Get online, look at Hex Armor, check everything out on our YouTube channel, our webpage. Hex Armor gloves are the official glove of Rescue Methods, and they will be for a long time to come.